My mother sold her house to dodge a medical bill that would have buried her alive. Then she moved into my home and tried to sell that too. It was a Tuesday when Mom showed up at my doorstep, her silver hair disheveled, clutching a single suitcase like it held her entire life. Her eyes, once bright with laughter, were dulled by months of hospital visits and creditor calls. I'd known about her cancer, the treatments, the bills piling up like a cruel game of Jenga. When she told me she sold her house to pay them off, I didn't hesitate. "Move in with me, Mom," I said, thinking I was saving her. My little two-bedroom house in suburban Ohio wasn't much, but it was mine, paid off after years of scraping by as a high school math teacher. I thought I was being the good son, the one who steps up when life kicks his family down. But Mom had other plans. The first few weeks were fine, or so I thought. She'd make coffee in the morning, her hands trembling slightly as she poured, and we'd sit at the kitchen table talking about old times, Dad's bad jokes, our camping trips, the way she used to bake pies that could make you forget any bad day. I saw glimpses of the woman who raised me, the one who'd worked double shifts as a nurse to keep us afloat after Dad left. But there was something off, a nervous edge to her smile, a way she'd changed the subject when I asked about her finances. I chalked it up to stress. Cancer does that to people, right? It rearranges their insides, not just their bodies but their minds, their priorities. Then the letters started arriving. Thick envelopes with official seals addressed to me, not her. Mortgage offers, refinancing deals, home equity loan application stuff I'd never signed up for. I found them stuffed in the kitchen drawer, hidden under dish towels like dirty secrets. "Mom, what's this?" I asked one evening, holding up a letter from some shady lender promising cash now. She froze, her fork halfway to her mouth, and gave me that look, the one she used when I was a kid and got caught sneaking cookies. "Oh honey, just junk mail," she said, waving it off. But her voice cracked and I knew. I should have pressed harder, but I didn't. I trusted her. She was my mother, the woman who'd bandaged my knees and taught me how to balance a checkbook. So I let it go, buried my unease, and went back to grading papers. Life went on. She started gardening in my backyard, planting roses like she was trying to make the place hers. She'd hum old hymns while she worked, and I'd watch from the window, thinking maybe this was her way of healing. Maybe we were building something new together. Then the real estate agent showed up. It was a Saturday morning, and I was still in my pajamas when the doorbell rang. A woman in a blazer, all smiles and clipboard, stood on my porch. "Mr. Carter? I'm here to discuss the listing," she said, like I was supposed to know what she meant. "Listing?" I echoed, my stomach dropping. She looked confused, then pulled out a contract with my address on it and my mother's signature. "Your mother said you were ready to sell. She's already accepted an offer." I felt like I'd been punched. My house, the one I'd spent 10 years paying off, the one where I'd planned to raise a family someday, was on the market, and I hadn't even known. I stormed inside, where Mom was sitting on the couch, pretending to read a magazine. "What did you do?" I shouted, waving the contract. She didn't look up at first, just kept flipping pages. Then quietly she said, "I was trying to help us, David." "Help us?" I wanted to laugh, but it came out as a choke. She told me the truth then in halting, tearful bursts. The medical bills weren't gone. Selling her house had only covered a fraction of them. The rest were still coming, relentless, and the creditors were circling like vultures. She'd panicked, she said. She'd seen my house as a lifeline, a way to wipe the slate clean. "I didn't want to burden you," she whispered, her voice breaking. "I thought I could fix it." "Fix it by selling my home?" I roared. "Without asking me?" I was shaking, torn between rage and heartbreak. This wasn't just about the house. It was about trust, about the woman who'd raised me doing something I couldn't fathom. She'd forged my signature, lied to the agent, and nearly sold my life out from under me. But then I saw her, really saw her. Her hands were trembling worse than ever, her face pale, her eyes red from crying. She wasn't some scheming villain. She was a woman drowning in debt and fear, trying to claw her way out. The cancer had taken more than her health. It had taken her pride, her sense of control. "I didn't know what else to do," she said, and the weight of her words hit me like a tidal wave. I wanted to stay angry. It would have been easier. But I couldn't. I sat down across from her. The contract crumpled in my hand and we talked. Really talked for the first time in months. She told me about the call she'd hidden, The nights she'd lain awake calculating how to pay for her next treatment. I told her about my fear of losing her. Not just to cancer but to this mess that was tearing us apart. We worked it out, sort of. I called the real estate agent, explained the mistake, and canceled the sale. It wasn't easy, there were legal threats, fees, and a lot of groveling, but the house stayed mine. Mom and I met with a financial counselor. Someone who could help us navigate the medical debt without sacrificing everything. It meant tightening our belts, selling my old car, picking up extra tutoring gigs. It wasn't perfect, but it was honest. The harder part was rebuilding trust. Mom apologized 1,000 times, but words don't erase betrayal. I'd catch myself watching her, wondering if she was hiding something else. She'd catch me watching and look away, ashamed. We were two people who loved each other, trapped in a dance of guilt and forgiveness. One night, maybe a month later, we were in the backyard pruning her roses. The air was cool, the kind of evening that makes you feel like the world might be okay. She handed me the shears and said, "David, I'm not perfect. I never was. But I'm trying." I looked at her, saw the mother who'd fought for me my whole life, and I realized something. Forgiveness isn't a moment. It's a choice you make over and over. I chose it that night. I'm still choosing it. The house is still mine, though it feels different now. It's not just a building. It's a testament to what we went through. Mom's still here, still planting her roses, still humming those hymns. We're not fixed, not completely, but we're trying. And maybe that's enough. What would you have done? Was Mom right to try to save herself even if it meant betraying me? Or was I wrong to hold on to my house when she was fighting for her life? Share your thoughts. Where do you draw the line between family and fairness?